just let them in. We always can talk later, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Sorry, brother.
Okay. Wow, look at that, 19 folks already.
These are the ones that show up.
Is that Dante?
Hey, Dante.
Hey guys.
What's
Hi.
up?
Guys.
Hi.
How is everyone?
Hey, doing good, brother. Hey, so we're just gonna kind of
Whoa,
let everybody just slowly come in, and then we'll I'll say my little piece, and then Erica will go, and then Giselle will go, and then you can take that over, Dante. Okay.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thanks for
Perfect.
having me.
Hey, brother, thank you for bringing this up to everybody here. I think what you're going to tell them and how you can show them that to protect their money in the future is going to be super valuable. So thank you very much for coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just give everybody a minute or two to get in. Look at Josh Hill, man. That's a faithful guy right there, brother. You notice I'm sitting right next to MJ, don't you? I'm not in Alaska right now, brother.
Doesn't look like Kansas anymore there, Dayton.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be
Oh,
great.
man.
Super excited.
Oh yeah. Time is 5:02. Patricia. We got Kyle. Who else we got up in here? Let me see. How do we move?
Okay, I'll move that. So we have Andrew.
MJ, you want me to make you co-host or want me to make Giselle?
It's so great to see you guys together.
Yeah,
There's Patricia.
Hi.
it's
Oh,
kind of
thank you.
Dayton. Yeah, it's kind of Dayton to fly here.
I know. I love that. You guys are such a powerhouse.
Hey,
Yes.
I'm hoping this whole group is going to be a powerhouse soon enough. That's the goal. The goal is not about MJ and I. The goal is about all of you. Like,
Amen.
we just gotta keep laying these foundations. We got to get good people like Dante to keep coming out to bring the value that they're going through, things that they are seeing, things that they're walking into, to avoid it for all of you guys. And that's ultimately what this is about. It ain't about, this ain't a powerhouse. This right here, all of you guys is the powerhouse.
Love that.
You guys will, I'm telling you guys, just let us continue to lay this foundation out. You're gonna see a movement that hasn't been seen before in real estate. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that.
Okay, I think we can begin.
Okay, let's okay, guys. So a couple things that I wanted to talk about today. We're just gonna go ahead and start. So a couple things I want you guys to be mindful about as we keep moving forward. In our group, and it's already happened to MJ and I, where there are scammers, guys, there are poachers. I want you guys to be mindful. I want you guys to be aware of them, because they are out there and they do not care about you. They care about the money that you bring. And I guarantee you, whenever you start, whatever road, whatever scenario, whatever thing you want to walk down, if you understand the value that you have, there is no person out there that will be able to poach you. And I'll tell you guys this, MJ and I, we do not need 10,000 followers, you guys. We need 10 people who care about people, who don't care about the value of money, to start this movement. I don't need 10,000 followers. I need 10 people just like MJ and I, who want to go out there, who want to raise capital, who want to step outside of themselves, who want to take a Gator step, who want to use the 1% rule to apply to big picture Gators. That's all we need, guys. I don't need 10,000. I need 10. You give me 20, I'll scale you to 100 million. You give me 30, I'll scale you to 150 million in probably like a year and a half. That's not even far-fetched, you guys. Not what MJ and I seen. So with that being said, I just want you guys to be aware of everything that is happening, all the scammers that are out there, and you'll see, because you'll notice the people that come in and they just comment on the, oh yeah, I can fund that, and then you don't hear nothing again. Oh yeah, I can fund that, but they don't try to set up a call. They don't try to be like, oh, MJ, what are you about? Dayton, what are you about? Dante, what are you about? They don't do any of that. They're like, okay, how can I see this person as a transaction and then move to my next transaction? And guys, you are way more valuable than that. And you need to understand that. When they come to you, it's because they have nobody. When they come to you, it's because you have the power and you need to understand the value in that power. So I'm going to digress. Right now, I would like all of us to just take a deep breath. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to lock arms with MJ. I'm going to take my Gator step. Woo! We just did that, you guys. Hey, growing Gators is a lifestyle. Let's grow together. Erica, take it over.
Awesome. Awesome. Way to fire it up like usual. Thank you. So I'm so excited tonight, guys. We've got a very special guest that is going to be talking to us tonight about something very, very important. Okay. So while we're super excited of having this lifestyle of growing as Gators, there's definitely something that we all have a responsibility to do, right? And that's to make sure that we know what's in the water, right? We know our environment, we know the potential pitfalls, we know what to look out for, and we are very smart and wise and strategic as to what those things might be. And Dante M out of St. Augustine, Florida, I'm so excited to introduce him to you guys because he's graciously accepted the invitation to come on and share with you about one of his most recent experiences. Okay, now this is something that's going to help you guys avoid some certain pitfalls, protect your money. You know, that's all part, again, of what it means to grow, to be a Gator, to be smart, wise, and strategic. So a little bit about Dante M, super excited, again, from St. Augustine, Florida. He's been in real estate a little over a year now, been doing this, really interested in for a couple of years, but I'm going to tell you his vision into this Gator business is to do transactional funding and loan sponsorship. So he's got big goals, guys, and he is all in, and he's been all in, and he's that action taker. So wanted to have him on today. He's going to share with us about a recent experience. Thank you for being out there, Dante. It definitely is super, super inspiring. And you guys are going to have some of the opportunity to ask questions. So again, let's take advantage of this time. Let's welcome Dante. And then to show him our love and appreciation. So Dante, you're up, buddy. Thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you. Thank you everyone for having me on. I mean, this is pretty incredible. It's real estate has been really great and then really bad all at the same time. You got to take it as it is. And you got to move forward. As much as you may want to quit, just keep pushing through. Thank you for MJ. Thank you everyone for having me on. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome, brother. Hey, so why don't you tell us about the experience that you walked through? Just tell us like that step one and then lead us all the way up to where you're at now, brother.
Yeah, so I joined Sub 2 around August, and I joined Sub 2 and Gator in August simultaneously. I did about a good month of doing networking, doing a lot of good things. And then the hurricane hit, and then I was part of the hurricane relief team down here in Florida. So for about 2.5 months, that's what I did. Finally, in December, went to a Sub 2 meetup in Jacksonville, met up with quite a few good people and connected, did the networking, everything that you're really supposed to do, right? Met a lot of great people. But then there was one who I met who said how they have business partners and how they have all these, what I was into was mobile home parks, me and my business partner. They said how they had all these mobile home parks off market, the whole 9 yards. I said, okay, great. So we go into conversations. We are talking about the mobile home parks, and I get connected to one of her business associates, who's another Sub 2 student. And right off the get-go, asked me for money, asking me for private money. And I was like, man, that just, when you have that feeling in your gut, your stomach, it's like, I don't like this,
Yep.
But he made it so appealing because he had these off-market mobile home parks that I had buyers wanting to get into. So, all right. I didn't get it right away. I said, I just can't do it. It's like, I'm trying to focus on these mobile home parks. And I could tell he pulled away from the mobile home parks because I wasn't able to get his funding. So it just turned out to be that my buddy kept asking me, hey, why don't we go into a deal together? Because I want to learn how to do private money lending. I said, okay. I said, well, I do got this one deal. The guy needs a little bit of extra money. He needs to finish out a project. And he says, okay, well, how much is it? And I told him it was like 35,000. I said, okay. And got everything done. I mean, I did everything right? I verified the guy, went through a couple people who actually knew him and said, yeah, he's a pretty good guy. He's doing pretty big things. I said, okay.
So you vetted him.
I vetted him. Yeah. So now here was the other red flag. Right off the get-go, he said, my private money lenders don't need the deed of trust because of that level of trust.
Mm.
I said, well, okay, I appreciate it, and it just wasn't right. And finally I said, well, listen, hey, and I don't want to, even as bad as I think he is, I don't like knocking somebody else's business.
Mm.
Because there's already plenty of posts about him anyway. Trust me. If you're on the creative real estate with Pace Morby, if you're in the sub 2 mentorship, you've heard about him. So I don't think he's going to be doing any more business anyway. But anyway, let me get back on track. So that was the red flag. And I said, listen, in order for me to get this, we need to do everything right. So we did everything right. We did the promissory note, did the DocuSign. We even had instructions for a title company that we needed to do a title search and we needed to secure it by the deed of trust. We filled out everything. Got back a title search and everything looked good. There was a hard money lender, just like the guy said. And the hard money lender who I reached out to said, yes, we are allowing the second position in this abnormal time. Something with his health or whatever it may be. Okay, great. So we did it. But nothing ever felt right. Nothing. It just didn't feel right. We funded it. We went through title, the whole 9 yards.
Hey, guys, real quick, Dante. So just along those lines, and for everybody who just came in, Dante is explaining the legal battle that he's going through with his EMD. And Dante, you're absolutely correct, brother. MJ and I just had this feeling the other day where it just didn't make sense. And I don't care if MJ and I was going to make $500,000 each. If it doesn't make sense to you and the red flags come out, guys, you walk away. And I'll tell you why. Because if you cannot protect your money, there is no deal. If you cannot protect your money, there is no deal. Okay, sorry, Dante. Go ahead, brother.
No, absolutely. I step in whenever, man, because I want more people to learn about my experience. So the more questions you guys have, to say, hey, what happened here? That's fine. So we had the title search, came back, we did everything right. Instructions were down pat, everything was there. We had everything. But nothing ever felt right. So about a month ago, or maybe about 2 weeks ago, I'm on a Zoom with Pace and his private money lender, Wes Grant.
Mm.
And Pace kept saying, do not lend money. Do not lend money. And Wes Grant was in the side chat, and I was like, you know what? Let me get his train of thought, because something just wasn't right. I told him about it. And what do you know? His business partner lent to the same guy, to the exact same property that we apparently had second lien position. And he pulled up from the county records, there were multiple people on the deed of trust on that property. Multiple. There was a mechanics lien, a hard money lender, and 2 other liens. And we're not even And now, so we're not really on the deed of trust no more. It was
Nope.
all up. And we aren't even the only people that he took from. He took to a lot of money, luckily my guy only lent out 35,000. Now that's a lot of money. But compared to a lot of other people, one guy was 87,000, another was 122,000. The list goes on. And this is multiple properties, multiple different people.
Guys, I want to jump in here. So I was having my call with Dante, and he was saying that he's not too much worried about his 50,000, but he's too much worried about his friend's $35,000. That's someone, who cares about other people's money more than his. So, and that's why I decided to bring him on our channel, on our Zoom sessions, because you want to work with someone like Dante.
Yeah, you said it right. Like I was a knucklehead that did it, but then I was even a more knucklehead for connecting one of my really good friends, childhood friends, to do this. That's what really sucks. I'm going after him criminally.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
My guy is going to go after the title company because we had clear instructions. Because we don't have a deed, we're not on the deed of trust. We're just not.
Yeah.
So that's our move right now. My buddy's in Italy right now. So, but what I really wanted to say, you can verify all you want, but just like how you said, Dayton, if you have that pit in your stomach, like, man, I just can't do this, don't do it.
You don't do it, guys. You just don't do it. And here's the reason why. There's 335 million people in America. You multiply that like times 10. That's how many, just minimum houses there is. Therefore, there's so many contracts that are out there. MJ and I in the pipeline right now probably have about 50 contracts right now, you guys. And we're not saying that to boast. We're saying that because a month ago, I didn't even know who MJ was. I'm saying that so you guys can see the power that you guys have, the value that you guys have. Elisha, Josh, Kyle, Sherry, brother, I don't know how to say your name. L-L-Y-A. Ilya, Mary, Nick, you guys, the power that you have, if you understand how to use it and then show people that it is not about the money, that it is about the cultivation of relationships, you will soar without anybody. There's no wind, tornado, hurricane that can stop you from flying because you're not focused on individuals as a transaction. You're focusing on them as how can I build my relationship with Erica, with Giselle, with MJ that will last 100,000 years. How do our families build a legacy together after we're gone? That's why, sorry, brother. That's why we come here. That's why we started Erica, Giselle, and MJ and myself. This is why we started Big Picture Gator, because MJ and I, right off the bat, 4 days in, we ran into probably 100 walls.
Yeah.
100 walls, you guys. And we was like, how do we avoid brand new Gators coming into this? How do we stop them from happening what happened to Dante? Unfortunately, brother, and I'm sorry that it happened to you, but thank you for bringing that testimony to us, because now we have 39 individuals who know how to, hey, you know what? This ain't right. And guys, so number one, you do not, if you cannot get on that lease, if you cannot get on that deed, if you cannot get on that title, what do you do, guys? Josh Hill, what do you do if you cannot get on that, brother? Gone. Exactly. You do not do it. Guys, cross collateral, that's another one. If you can get cross collateral, great. Every single opportunity that you have to protect your money needs to be at the forefront of your mind, especially when you guys go out there and you raise capital for somebody from somebody else. And trust me, you guys will have to raise capital, you guys. Your money will run out like this. You have to learn how to raise capital, but you have to learn how to protect the capital that you raise. Because in an industry like this, it is all about reputation, reputation, reputation. And the reputation that Big Picture Gators are going to set is one of cultivation, is one about forward movement, and it's and all of this has to do with us applying the 1% rule. So Dante, real quick, brother, what would you have done differently?
Besides actually doing a deal with this guy and actually not so much vetting the guy, doing a deal with him, whether it's a simple wholesale deal, whatever, that's my first mistake, is doing a deal. My second one, if I was going to lend money, is to have a title company, who you trust 100% to do a second title search. That's what would have saved me.
And when you say that, Dante, you mean like, so this the house that you went after, the mobile park, they had their own title company. What you're saying is to all these other Gators is you want them to go to a separate title company and do their own search, correct?
Yeah. So
Correct.
like there's a lot of times where sellers or agents, they want to use their own title company. That's fine. But you know what? Go ahead, get just do a title search on your own with the title company you trust. And once everything matches up, great. You can go ahead and do it. Just make sure that is deeded on the trust both ways, and you verify it.
And this is why you do that, you guys. This is why you do that, because now you have one more step. You have an outside perspective. You allow, that's why the inspections are so important, to set those up. And we need to tell them about paying for the extension period too.
Yeah.
You guys, so also this could play along with that, but you guys have to watch. If they try to get you to pay for an extension fee, don't do it, because a lot of times those are non-refundable. So any extension fees, that's a no-go. If they are willing to play ball, then they need to put skin in the game, and you need to allow them to do that. You do that, why? Because you know the value that you bring to the table, you guys. And when you go into these negotiations, when you go to get these details, like these are the types of questions that you guys need to be asking and getting answers for. Dante, what do you think about that, brother?
Yeah, man, that's exactly right. I mean, when you're doing EMD loans, right, it's not really secured. So you have to be on the title company who you did the wire instructions to, on them like white on rice. You have to.
Absolutely.
And if they ask for extension, I'll say, you know what? If you need an extension, I would pull my money out. I would, that's it.
Yep.
Go ahead and get another contract. I'll lend you, I'll do the EMD, but you need to get a new contract.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, dude. And guys, don't be, listen, the thing about creative finance, you guys, check this out. The thing about creative finance is it's pretty simple. So MJ and I right now are looking at 36 acres on Las Vegas Strip, right? Right on the strip.
Yeah.
Right on the strip, in the Las Vegas Strip. They're asking for 500K EMD. Do you think that we're not going to try to get some type of collateral? Of course we are. We're going to get some type of cross collateral, maybe somebody's house, maybe somebody's two houses. It doesn't matter, because now this your job, guys. I can't stress this enough. Your job is to protect the money. So however creatively you have to do that, that's what you do. Because when they come to you and they're like, hey, MJ, I need 500K EMD. Okay, Dayton, how can you protect my money?
Absolutely.
Now you go with your brain and you do it. You say, you know what? I see that you have 144 door portfolio. Give us 33%.
Yep.
Once we're paid back, we'll sign the 33% right back to you. We'll do it all at closing on the same day, you guys. Do not, this is the reason why I tell you guys you have to know your value, is because when you come to the table, you are the table, you guys. You're not sitting down at somebody else's table. You built the table. They just get to sit there at your table. That's the value that you bring. That's what you need to understand. Okay, Dante, keep going, brother. I'm sorry.
No, man. Oh, so when I found out, I talked to Wes Grant, I talked to Derek Barton, and we had me and Wes Grant had a long conversation. Me and Derek, it was just back and forth. He was telling me what he ended up lending the guy for a Miami property. Then he got ill, and then he lent for this other property. And so, and he lended him back in December. Me and my buddy, we lended to the guy in January. So he honestly just went out and conned people. And then and the worst part of all of this is that he made it so believable. Even when it came down to mobile home parks, I mean, the guy deserves an Oscar, to be quite honest with you, because even the mobile home parks that he did end up finally giving me that were off market, they did not want to sell them. I mean, he had everything right. He even had P&L. He had I'm telling you, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Guys, you see why it's important to be aware of your surroundings. You see, listen, every single gator that's out in nature right now is 24/7. Not 23. They're 24/7 ready to go. Apex predator ready to go from the time they are hatched to the time they are full grown. And this is the type of mentality that you guys have to have, because they are scammers out there. I think MJ and I encountered 4, right?
Yeah.
MJ and I encountered 4 scammers, and guys, we caught it right in the beginning.
Yeah, and I know we also had the motivation, like we want to give money to them because the deal was so appealing. But at the end, we realized, okay, they don't have anything. So one of the deal, they told us that we are going to put a cross collateral of a Florida house. After 2 days, I said, okay, you know what, let me have a look at that house. And that house was up in market for 144 days. Now, she was not able to sell the house. She's putting that as cross collateral. That's of no use to any one of us, right? So even though they put cross collateral, we need to verify if that cross collateral is of any help to us or not.
Yeah. And to Beth's question, yes, he's actually one of the OG sub 2 students. He's been in sub 2 for quite a long time.
Who? I'm sorry. Did you say the name already?
I didn't, but you know what, everybody.
Oh, you don't want to? It's fine, brother. You don't have to. And I'm not here to call anybody out, so don't think like that, Dante. I just want big picture Gators to always be aware, because I don't want them to ever get scammed. If MJ, Erica, Giselle, Dante, Nick, Josh, Elijah, Kyle, Marie, if we can help you guys help each other and not get scammed, that's what I care about. If I found that one of you guys got scammed, I'll be very upset, because I don't want that to happen to you guys. I don't.
Yeah.
I would much rather you guys just walk away from a $1.4 million deal. MJ and I was going to walk away. You guys know, I said it. There's a reason. Because if I cannot protect your money, then there is no contract, you guys. There's none. And the reason why I keep saying it is because it's the most important thing for us as transactional lenders. That is the most important thing. So creative finance, however you got to do that, you do it. And the reason why you do it any type of way is because you bring the value. You are the value. When you go into these negotiations and everybody's like, oh yeah, come sit at the table. Yes, come sit at the table that Josh created, Elijah created, Marie, Nick, Dante, Erica, Giselle. That mentality you need to bring every single day. Nobody, and at any given point, you guys, if you ever have to sell your money to somebody, you need to walk away that very second. There should be nobody that you have to sell your money to.
Yep.
None. Dante, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. And actually, let me add on to this. I got done work around 3:00 today, and I went to go look at a quadplex in Jacksonville.
Because this is really good.
Right? And when you look at the pictures look pretty good. But when you go to the place, it looks like a complete, excuse my language, but shithole. Even agents are doing this to sell their properties. Imagine what people would do to get your money. So you have to really think about it. It's verify, And I can't say enough, you got to have people by your side who you trust. Because if I had someone by my side who I trusted and gave him the whole deals and gave him everything that I knew, he would have said, dude, don't even dare to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is Mary on the call? Actually, we were working on a deal with Mary, and the agent was awesome. She called us and said, do not wire EMD because the seller had a very bad house and he was trying to hide something.
Hang on, is that Marie?
Marie,
Is
yes.
she here?
I'm
Hey,
right here.
you want to just give a little insight about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just what MJ said. I mean, it was a rush deal. They wanted the money the next day. And, you know, we were trying to do our due diligence as fast as possible. And so I had called the title company and got the instructions and the wire and spoke to the escrow officer. And she was great. It seemed very legit. I, you know, looked up the company. And then we were just waiting on proof of funds for that night. And that was supposed to be emailed over to us. And just before I went to bed, I got a phone call from the agent, and she said, please tell me you didn't send your money yet. Please tell me you didn't send your money. And I said, no, not yet. She said, oh, thank God. She's like, I just caught the seller in a huge lie. It would have cost a lot of money. She's like, she's like, I got to protect my buyer. I got to protect you. She's like, so I'm pulling out of the deal. So that was really,
Yeah. So
we
now
were
this
happy
is
to
the
have
seller.
her.
Yeah. So now this was a seller who was trying to scam her, right?
And it was
So
an agent.
you
It was a
have
seller's agent.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's at different levels, right? So
Yeah.
Christine was amazing, right? She said, you know, I have been raised with a lot of character, a lot of values,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
don't want anyone's money to go down the drain. And to me,
Exactly.
that was amazing. I want Christine by my side all day
Yep.
long.
Yep. She was wonderful.
So
I agree.
you see, guys, we are walking away from more deals than we are trying to accept them, because it is not, you guys, it cannot be about the money. Once you make it about the money, then all of your defenses leave, all of your barriers go, all of your integrity goes, because you're not looking at the people as people. You're looking at them as transactions. And guys, they are trying to scam you left and right. We have multiple people already. And again, MJ and I just started, let's just call it 2 months. And we are turning probably 50 deals. 50 contracts. We was like, no. And you have to go through 1,000 no's to get the one yes. But if you go through 1,000 no's, that one yes will be every yes that you wanted the whole time, you guys. It will be. So, hey, you guys, Erica and Giselle is going to take it over. I got to get to the airport. Dante, thank you so much for bringing your value, brother. I want you to come back on, and I want you to give a testimony of how things went through when you got things to the finish line. So not only can people see the end result of a disaster, sorry for saying that, brother, but also they can also dwell in your victory, and they can see what is possible for themselves. Because when you give a grain of mustard seed and you plant it, that's all it takes for it to grow, brother. So Dante, thank you so much. Guys, Big Picture Gators, we have so much in store. I want to grow with you guys. Growing Gators is a lifestyle. I have to get to the airport. Thank every one of you guys for being here. Erica and Giselle, you guys are amazing. Without you two facilitating all the things that you do, MJ and I, we would not be able to do all the parts that we need to. So Giselle, Erica, thank you guys so much. Big Picture Gators, you guys are amazing. I want you guys to learn how to protect your clients' money, how to protect your money. We want you guys to grow. You guys need help. You guys want us to look at investment deals. I'll tell you guys what I just told Erica and Giselle. Find out how the money is protected. Find out how the money is protected. Oh, wait. Find out how the money is protected, and then bring it to MJ and I. And if you want us to facilitate that, we will. And we will do that with a smile on our faces, because it's about you guys. It's not about us. We're going to do what we're going to do. And if we can help you do it too, then let's do it. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys next week. If you guys need anything from us, we are always available. Thank you guys for onboarding. Erica and Giselle, again, thank you guys so much. We're going to take off. Big Picture Gators, I hope we grow to the moon, you guys. Have a good, blessed week.
Safe travels.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Giselle.
Of course. We love you guys.
So
how do
we, oh,
How do
sorry.
I find out the name of that person? Because I literally just did a mobile park deal and I'm kind of panicking.
Oh, Patricia, were you the one who just texted me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? He's out. I from what I understand, he's going to be pretty much out of sub 2. So his name's Rick Corbett.
Rick Corbett.
He's
thank
been, he was posted all over the free creative Facebook group. He
Okay.
was posted all over sub 2. I think even the Gator he was, but they took it down.
Where the money is.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
you know, I can't prove it. I know he has a couple accomplices, but they could easily say, "Oh, well, I didn't know what he was doing."
And what do your attorneys say now to protect you? Is there anything you can do, or is that?
It's gone.
Oh,
It's gone. The only thing me personally, I can't do anything. But my friend, he can sue the title company. So my cousin is really big in the government. He's so we're gonna go. I have the FBI involved in this. So because
nice.
we're not the only ones.
Yeah.
So as far as my attorney, I wish I would have went to him before I even did this.
Yeah.
So, but is what
Is
it
it like
is.
a Ponzi scam? Is that what this is?
I think it turned into that. I think so. Derek Barton lended to this guy, I think almost a year ago. And he got ill and he went to the hospital into the first lending. I don't know what happened to it. And then somehow he lended again. And then I think it just went downhill. It was like a snowball effect. And then finally, this guy just couldn't get back out into the corner. So he just went all out. Went to all kinds of different people to get money and just found out a way to have a title company to put out fake title searches.
So Dante, let me ask you this. Do you think that, and I'm just tossing around ideas here, do you think that having a transaction coordinator in your corner, that when you're vetting deals where they could do a pre-title search situation and kind of do that vetting thing as far as paperwork, title searches, stuff like that, would that be something you might advise for us as Gators to have in our corner moving forward, that when we're presented with a deal, can we partner up with like a TC, have them do the legitimacy of it all, right? Because not all of us are, like Pace says, it's not our strong suit. And it's not something that we were all God-given wonderful talents, right? Strong suits, I call them. Do you think that looking back on it, that might help? Or you would advise that for us as Gators?
Absolutely, especially if you had a title company that did the transaction coordinating. You had a transaction coordinator. Like now I do have a title company and she connected me with a transaction coordinator. So if I won't be lending anytime soon, ever for a while, but now for all my deals, I'm going to be going through her to get title searches back, just as a little bit of precaution.
Okay.
So, yes, that's what I would do. I would always have a transaction coordinator, especially if you're a private money lender, especially.
Okay.
EMG, I guess you could do it on your own, but not with today. Not the things that I know now.
Dante,
your
can I send you something after? I'm not, like, not now, but later I have your number. Just so maybe your FBI person, I don't know if that, I'm just really kind of freaking out because it might be related somehow. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting really paranoid.
What you ask? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I was just asking if I could send you, because I don't know, because you said you had partners and I'm wondering, it's not Rick Corbett, the one you said, but I just don't know if it could be one of his partners. I just want to double check.
He only has two, and they're very like they wouldn't do anything with mobile home parks. He was the only one that ever did anything with mobile home parks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one, honestly, the one who introduced me to him, which, like I said, I don't know if she had any hand to it, but she did introduce me to the guy. She's very new. I think she got conned too. I
Yeah.
don't think she had any money, but I think, he was going after new students. That's what he was doing. That's exactly what he was doing. So, and you know how sub 2 students are. They're eager to get that first deal. They're eager.
Yeah.
So they'll do anything to get that first deal. And
Or you get complacent, you get kind of comfortable because you've met some really great students or great leaders when sub 2, so you're assuming majority are good, which
exactly. Like my business partner, I met my business partner on the exact same night, and he's phenomenal. Like he's one of my really good friends now. He lives right down the street. So there was a lot of good that came out of that meeting. It's just that one bad. So luckily, my money was out of my 401k. So,
yeah.
but my buddy's money, that came straight from his savings account. So that's what I care more about is my buddy's money.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
He'll make it back. He's gonna make a lot of money back.
yeah,
He's got a good friend with you.
yeah.
Good things happen to good people.
Thank
It'll
you.
happen.
Yeah, it's he's in Italy right now, so he's well off, obviously, but still. So,
Well, thank you for sharing that. Patricia, thank you for your questions. Giselle, did you have any other questions that you see in the comments you wanted to field?
yeah, so Krika said, does title insurance cover this type of situation?
Good question.
from what I understand, there is lender's policy, but the borrower has to buy that. That's how I understand it. So it goes once again, you really have to trust the person who you're lending money to. And like I said, it just goes back to verifying. Make sure you have that lender's policy. Make sure everything's there. Make sure. That I didn't hear about that until my attorney told me about it. So
I think there is title insurance that you can buy, and I think it was just in the training that the borrower or the lender can buy it as well to cover it. But that's why I was asking if anybody was for sure on it.
yeah, I know there's a title insurance, but I don't know if that is for the lending side. That's a really great question, honestly. I never really got into it, but I know there's a lender insurance and I know there's a title insurance. I don't know if they're the same thing. I don't know if they're separated, but they do have it. I just don't know what it covers.
Nicholas also asked, like, how do you find out more information about these people and their portfolios to possibly get collateral if needed?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, that would probably be a really good question for MJ.
Okay, so I looked up on Chat GPT. What is title insurance? Who buys it? Let me just read this to you, that it's a type of insurance that protects the owner of a property or the mortgage lender from any financial losses that may arise if there are defects in the title to the property. Title defects may include issues such as liens, encumbrances, and other claims that can affect the ownership of the property. Title insurance is typically purchased by the buyer of a property or by the mortgage lender financing the purchase. The cost of title insurance is typically a one-time fee paid at the closing of the transaction, and the policy remains in effect for as long as the owner or lender retains an interest in the property. Last, in addition to protecting against financial losses, title insurance also provides peace of mind to property owners and lenders by ensuring that the title to the property is clear and free of any defects or encumbrances that may threaten their ownership interests. You can definitely fine tune your answers based on what you train ChatGPT on the specifics, but that was just basically a very overarching topic that I typed in. So recommend ChatGPT to help that as well, just answering those questions. Anybody else have anything to add to that?
I think that's all the questions in the chat. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions, insights to add to this. You know, if you guys haven't had any experience yet about it as well, that you guys can share.
Oh, thank you. This is so great. Very
Hello.
sobering.
Thank you for being vulnerable, Dante. I really appreciate that. You
Yeah.
know,
Thank you,
come here
Dante.
and
Hello,
help us.
good
That
evening.
is super.
How are you?
Yeah.
Giselle, can I speak? Sorry.
Yeah,
Am
go
I
ahead,
on?
go ahead, Mona Lisa.
I'm sorry. So I was looking at my notes on the pre two in private money deep dive in our Gator program, in our Gator mentorship. So I have a note here, big notes, and I put an exclamation point and everything. So the escrow, the policy, and the title, it says buy a lender policy, and it has to be on a note and a deed of trust. So kind of like my short notes. So if we're going to probably exfoliate on that, we can go back to break two, the lesson 2 of Gator. So it's in there. If we have to review our Gator program, so that is in there. It's a nice reminder to all of us. I didn't catch the first thing, but I think there's something that went with Dante. But we have to remember, if money is our problem, we don't have a problem. We have to be healthy. And we can go on, we can fight. It happened, but we have to stay afloat together, you know, like the whole group, our group. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for that, but we will support each other. So thank you. I'm sorry.
Hey, at least what 40 other people can learn. They can
Yeah, thank you,
understand what's
Dante.
going on. You know, you do learn from your mistakes. This was a big mistake.
It's a big mistake.
That was my problem. And to even so, here's another thing: is even Wes Grant, who is Pace's top-notch money lender, said that I did everything right except for doing that second title search. That was it. I was too trusting. That was the only thing I did wrong. He said, but he looked through all my emails. You know, my instructions were on point. They were clear. even the title woman wrote back the exact same instructions to me. It's just
Upcoming violation 14-hour.
they
limit, 11-hour driving.
sorry about that. They just, you know, they just scammed. That's all.
Oh my gosh.
I'm wondering too if like now we have to also like vet title companies as well. Like just like how can we vet those title companies if they're also like part of that whole like scam, you know? Like how you said like you went with the title company that was working with this person, that the borrower, but then they also did not do their like they did not perform. So like how would you vet them as well? Like how would you go differently with that? Like what would you recommend?
So I asked my attorney the exact same thing, and he said, if your whole business is going to be going around title companies, go get HUD statements. Make sure that they've done deals. Make sure, you know, make sure that they're on HUD statements. Hey, what was your last, you know, like I said, we just talked to my real estate attorney yesterday. So for the very first time. So that's what he told me to do. And because I told him my whole business, I told him about Gator, I told him about what I was, he was like, wow, and he was interested in it too. I mean, it's very appealing. But just like you said, title companies are doing this too. You know, it's just like when you have a scammer on Facebook, they can easily copy license numbers. They can easily, I mean, people get your social security number and then they can go in your bank account. If they can do that, they can definitely go to another title company that even exists and just copy their information and just act as if they are that title company.
So true.
You know, I would Google the title company. I would call their office number, make sure that they match up, then ask for HUD statements. Ask them, hey, what deals have you done? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I think I don't remember what video I saw, but somebody was talking about like that a lot of like companies like brag about not having problems come up, but it's like you should not brag about that, but brag about overcoming problems that you were able to like come up with solutions. So like that way, you know, like they are actually like problem solvers, like, you know, like they will go and like solve those issues rather than like, oh, this company is clean, like they haven't run into any issues, I should work with them.
Yeah. And you know what is actually, even when Pace does his subject to acquisitions, right? I think he said he's gotten a half dozen to a dozen called on him now. I mean, out of the thousands of properties that he has, right? Thousands of deals. He's had as a dozen. And I'm pretty sure almost all of them were due to paperwork involved, where the title company might have done it, changed the insurance over too quickly. So, you know what? I think title companies might be one of the biggest things where you need to have someone on your side at all times who you trust. Maybe that could be the answer, is you always go with your title company, no matter what costs.
This is gold. Thank you so much. Wow. So continue to build. I think the first training, Giselle, the first training we had here as the BPG group was title companies, right? And a lot of times step one in anything, 1 + 1, right, is to get back to the basics, or just start with the basics. So thank you so much for that reminder of just everybody continue to reach out, title companies. establish those relationships, we see it in the actual group, like the big group, of how it's paying off to get those really, really good relationships going, right? This is such a great reminder of that. And while we're on the topic, we have a few minutes left. If any of you here are willing to do what Dante's doing and to be real heroes, be vulnerable, helping other gators swim and so that we can survive and we can eat, right? Chomp chomp, right? Please get in touch with myself, Giselle, MJ, or Dayton, any of us. Just let us know what you'd love to share on, anything that you feel would be of value. We're always open to that. And we really appreciate you, Dante, tonight coming on. If there is anybody else have anything they'd like to share before we kind of wrap it up tonight? Giselle, any other thoughts?
Krika is raising her hand.
Okay.
So I had a question. So title companies, I've called a few, but someone might know the rules. Do you need a title company that's in the state that you're doing the I'm sorry, I'm used to buying the property, so I'm not lending it. So the state that you're doing the business in. So like if I'm in California and I'm lending to somebody in, I don't know, Colorado, do I use a title company in Colorado or can I use the one in Cali?
I think they have to be licensed.
Cali is a completely different world. New York is a different world. And there are a couple others like Pennsylvania, et cetera, that are not title states. So depending on who is running it, everything is handled from something local. Now they can send that title company can send you a notary public.
Mhm.
And everything is handwritten. So they have to actually be with you with 2 forms of valid identification. They will come, they will bring you the paperwork a few days prior because they actually need to take that official, like it's like good old fashioned paper. Like they're going to have you sign with a pen and come and meet you. And then they are going to take that paperwork and then they are going to FedEx it back overnight. And so in order for everything to be on time and all the paperwork done, and if an I gets not dotted or a T doesn't get crossed, there's still time to make sure that you're closing on the correct date. So you're not going to use someone that is local to you unless it's that notary that they send on behalf of that particular title company.
I've done notary online as well, where a person was in Texas and did it through a call and did all the notary that way as well. So that means that we just need
That's
to.
interesting. They won't do that in Texas.
So from what I gather then, without doing my own research, is yes, we need to vet the title company, but we could vet them. It doesn't matter. It does matter, but it matters when we're actually doing the transaction, because I've done a deal in Oregon, Smallville title company, and they weren't even digital yet. So, which was a whole nother process to walk through from somebody that was using from a big city that was lending. So you have to bet that on an individual basis is what I as hearing.
Yep.
If anybody else has
Yeah,
explanation.
yeah, I don't know on it. Besides just vetting, making sure you have someone on your side always. I know here in Florida, I've had good relationships with the title companies around me. And I know the one, she's out in Arizona, she's my go-to title company. She has a transaction coordinator too underneath her. She's licensed everywhere in every state except for Washington. Don't ask me why. But I think that might be my thing, is to maybe have her and maybe work with the other title company to help vet everything, because they know the industry, right? So if you have another title company, they know the lingo, they know what's going on. And if they can just work side by side, that might be a lot better.
Yeah, I'm going to, I'll get with MJ, guys. He does a lot of technical stuff too for this group. There's a title company gold in the bigger group and Paces in the Pace Gator group, where there is a title, I think it's called Title Company Gold. Is the name of the topic. So if you want to go to the group and just search for it, there are literally probably 30-ish questions on what to ask these title companies. I mean, this was like the bomb. Super insightful. But even with all that, you brought up a great point about being prepared for the digital aspect. Like, I don't think I'm going through all of this and this is crazy, but like, I don't see any question about that. So thank you. That was gold, what you brought up about the being prepared to handle things like that digitally. That's insanely valuable. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. But if you guys have any questions about that, drop it in the group. I will, what I can do also too, what I'll do, let me just do this. I'm going to go ahead and take what I copied from the actual post. I'll just drop it in our Gator group, just so you guys can all take it, email it to yourself, put it in a document, things like that. Or it looks like maybe somebody put it in there. Is it Fergie? You guys are awesome. Yeah, it might be that. It might be what, is it Fergie or Fergie? Because I'm going to start bussing some like Black Eyed Peas stuff. I'm just saying I love it. I've got some Fergie boots. I got Fergalicious shoes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you guys. So copy that email. Yes, it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. But we're going to make it even better because this group's awesome. Make sure you take that script and also add that question in about are they prepared for the 2023 for digital things, right? Digital exchanges. I mean, that just blows my mind. But, you know, there's some very, very small town America out there, guys. So thank you for that. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else? I know we're kind of running over, but this has been, oh, Kyle, Giselle, do you see Kyle or am I not seeing that correctly?
Yes, Kyle, go ahead.
Yes. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for adding me to the group. I'm a newbie here, so I just had one thing about the lender's policy. I think I've heard Pace talking about that. I'm not sure, is it in the contract or not, but he said always require the borrower to purchase a lender's policy for you. Is that, does anybody else know anything about that? I was trying to find it in the trainings, but I couldn't find it, but I'm sure I've heard him talking about it somewhere. I'm not sure if that would have protected Dante at all or not, but it's just something I thought of.
Anybody want to chime in?
Yeah, I would love to know that.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I know Pace does talk about it. I know he gets it. Title insurance, right? He makes sure that title comes back clean, because there has been a couple instances where he has bought the property and then the property owner went and sold it to someone else because the title search didn't come back clean or there was some sort of problem. But that only goes through, that doesn't get his property back though, right? But it saves him the money. Now, whether or not I'm going to be able to get my money and my buddy's money back, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if that would get, even if we did buy it, I don't know if it would get us back, you know, because they had a clean title search for us ready to go. So even if we did buy it with that title company, it probably would have just been a scam. But if it was a legit title company, Probably. Although
that's right.
a legit title company, that title would have never came back clean. So, you know,
Dante, was it one person at the title company or is it a faux title company?
there was 2 people, but I only got contacted with 1. So
Thank you.
that's our next step. That's next week. That's with real estate attorneys and on the phone call with this title company.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, again, I think we're all kind of charting this together. I know that there's something, and Jennifer, you might know this, but there's a notice of option that you could file when you get something under contract that clouds the title, which it's obviously just depending on that specific circumstance of the agreement and obviously the laws in that area where the property is. But I know that a notice of option can be like, it can be recorded in a way that doesn't create like an encumbrance on the property to affect the ability of the seller to transfer clear title to another buyer. So if there's people that are worried about getting something under contract and having somebody sell it right out from underneath you, I think you can actually obviously consult with like a real estate attorney or like a title professional to determine that. But I've heard about this and I haven't really gone through that in my experience. But Jennifer, have you ever had any experience with that? Oh.
My dog is barking. Sorry. I was hoping he would stop and spare everybody. I'm not sure what you're referring to, if that's a notice of if there's something called a notice of opposition in Texas and there's something called an option fee. Is that what you're referring to? Or is it,
The way that
I honestly don't know what a notice of option is. I just know about an option fee, which is very much part of the transaction.
I've just heard
Sounds like you're doing a memorandum.
It could be that too. It just depends on the state. That's exactly it. Notice of option memorandum. Yep. It could be depending on again, the states could be, land contract, executory agreement, like they're depending on where you're at, it could be different things, but that's what I'm talking about. It could be like a memorandum.
Yep.
Would that have helped in this situation to just immediately when something gets put under contract? I mean, I don't know. It could be, we're talking about 2 different circumstances. I don't know. I think but it really kind of protects you, I think, so that it can't be like once you are speaking to them in this specific situation, it protects you specifically so that the actual seller can't go and do some wonky stuff. I don't know if maybe that's another topic for another night, but.
I'm just looking up what a memorandum of option is. It says it means memorandum option in the form of Exhibit E here too, a completed copy for which each eligible owned property is to be executed, notarized, and delivered to escrow holder concurrently with the execution of this agreement. What is the memorandum? A memorandum of option agreement for use in California. It breaks that one down. Let's see if it says anything else. Written document describing a cooperative relationship between 2 parties wishing to work together on a project or meet an agreed upon objective. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is as it relates to what it is that we are doing. It sounds different than what an option period is or an option fee is.
Okay.
This is why I would, and it also says this document is not legally binding, but signals the willingness for parties to move forward with a contract. So I wouldn't want to take anything out of context. For the sake of the $500 or whatever it is to hire a TC, everything we are doing is based on a legally binding contract. So if you don't have a contract to cover your butt, then your butt's not covered. And so that's where really working with, there's some outstanding names of people who work through all of this that, we get access to. That I would work with somebody who's specifically used to working with the types of documents that PACE has put together in order to ensure that the language that is written is, there for all of the reasons that we need to cover our butts. So, you've
Perfect.
you may get away with it once or twice, but for all the real estate contracts I've done, in the last 7.5 years, I would never wish to do them without a transaction coordinator. They're so incredibly time sucking. And if you don't really understand the process, then you are really just looking to hang yourself. You're just giving yourself enough rope to hang yourself. Now, that said, reading those documents and asking questions of the TC so that you can truly learn that language, that's your empowerment, that's your education. And that is worth infinity to you to be able to catch those things. And as well as, a big part of what we do is we lend a hand down and we lend a hand up. And so without that education, we cannot do that for each other. So all I can say is the first deal I do, I'm going to find the best darn TC and I'm going to go through everything possible to get my education in this space, because it is going to be handled differently than working with a direct contract. I want to make sure all the addendums are there and any language that needs to be added in is correctly handled. So can't say enough about that, guys. It's a legally binding document. I thought, or I didn't understand, doesn't work. It's too bad. Get her done.
Yeah.
Spend money.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And honestly, like, having someone working with you, like, it's gonna save you more money and potentially make you more money, rather than like, I'm gonna have to pay out of pocket like $500 for somebody to help me out, coordinate my transaction, and like I run the risk of like, there may be some issues, but it's always important to partner up with somebody that knows what you don't know and to build those relationships as well. And well, we just want to thank you guys. We're going to wrap up the meeting here. We went over a little bit. Thank you so much for staying on. Thank you, Dante, for coming up here and sharing with us like your story, your experience, and providing us so much value today. We appreciate you a lot. And thank you guys for everyone that jumped in and like also gave us their insight and their knowledge, experience as well. We look forward to seeing you next week. And also just to remind you guys to continue taking action, like we have the comping properties, so like you guys can start learning that skill, also like if you are reaching out still to title companies as well, like what we learned from Dante, also like it's all gonna come down to like your specific transaction. Like just make sure, like you do your due diligence and you have a TC on your side, that you have some like people that you trust, like you are here to build those relationships for long-term partnerships. So don't look at it also as the easy money I'll get like with just doing something fast, like it all takes time, and it's just keep working and keep moving forward with what we're doing. So thank you guys for everything. We look forward to seeing you next week. If you're not in the Facebook group chat, send me a DM to Giselle Flores. And after you complete the onboarding form, I'll add you to the chat if you're not there already. And yeah, we'll keep getting those deals, and have a great weekend, you guys. Take care.
Thank you. Have a great night, guys.
Thank you.
Dante, keep us posted, man. Prayers.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you.
please.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a great
Yeah.
night.
Bye.
Everyone.
Thank you.